Hello and welcome to a view from the South Stand. I've got Marc with me today, and it's just finished. Leeds nil, Spurs 4 at Ellen Road. 1 second, my camera's playing up with me. Yeah, it's finished. Leeds nil, Spurs 4 at Ellen Road. Marc, was that a perfect result after the game on Wednesday?
Yeah, we needed to bounce back, obviously, and Leeds are struggling, but that could have gone against us today. We could have taken the morale from Wednesday into today, and Leeds could have bounced back today and caught us off guard. But the way we started the game, do you know what? I thought when I had that header in the first 3 or 4 minutes,
Yeah,
I
I
thought,
know.
oh
Yeah.
no, they've got the Ellen
The
Road
first
crowd
person to
behind
mention
them.
that, and I was a bit like the same. Yeah.
And then they've got the Ellen Road crowd behind them, and I thought it's going to be a tough one today. But do you know what? The boys, they were calm. You could tell we were playing it around the back well, causing Leeds to come forward, and then just zipping in over the top. Sessegnon, Doherty, 1-0, brilliant goal. I thought Kane was instrumental throughout. I thought Kulu had a great game, and I thought Højbjerg was brilliant today. I thought that was probably his best game in a Spurs shirt. So
Yeah.
I know it's going to ruffle a few feathers me saying that, but you've got to realise that these players are top professionals and they will have good games. So you've got to give them credit because it's easy to fire abuse at players when they don't play well. So you kind of got
Very,
to give
very
them
true.
credit where credit's due. I thought it was a great team performance. I love watching Romero. There was an incident in the first half where he should have given away a foul because he barged into Dallas, I think. And then when the referee was like that he weren't having it, and Romero was like bowed down to him and he started giving him abuse. I love it. I think he's brilliant. But overall, mate, very happy with the 3 points, 4 goals. Delighted Man United couldn't get a win against Watford at home.
I'm 50-50 on that.
Yeah,
I'll
no,
explain
but
why.
listen,
I'm more in that. Let's talk about top four. Why you've mentioned it? Because Man United drawing. With Man United drawing today, do you think after today's performance and looking at our fixtures, do you think we have a chance to make it, or do you think it's more in Arsenal's
do you know what?
hands than ours?
I thought all season we have a chance, and to be fair, the way that teams look, we beat Man City this time last Saturday, and then we go to Burnley and lose. So if you actually looked at the two games, you're actually looking at 3 points from the both games.
Yeah.
So we lost 1-1-1, and regardless if we beat City away, but I think Conte, after the 3 defeats in a row with Wolves, Southampton, do you know what I mean? I think he kind of thought, well, this ain't the level. Because we're capable of playing at a good level, like Liverpool at home, Leeds obviously today, Man City away. We've got the levels, but it's just down to the players and the consistency. And people are turning on the manager now, and I think it's wrong because I know Conte comes out, he's emotional, he's very emotionally attached to things, and he's reactionary, and he might say something out of line, but he says it to send a message to the players and the board that this isn't good enough for our club. So if you look at our fixtures, we've got Everton next week at home in the league on the Monday. We got Wednesday, we got Middlesbrough in the FA Cup. But look, never too high, never too low as a Spurs fan. Do you know what I mean? Like, just got to ride the storm. I think we've got to rely on Arsenal to hit a bit of a bad run because they're running away with it at the minute. I was giving all my Arsenal mates pelters at 80 minutes when they were 1-0 down to Wolves, and obviously they go and win the game 2-1, which was a great result for them, to be fair. And do you know what? They're playing really well at the minute, Arsenal. I hate to say it.
Because I'm looking at Arsenal going. Let's look at their 3 games in hand. It's not those 3 games they need to win. They just need to win the rest.
Chelsea, Liverpool, and United, and
us.
Yeah,
and us. So there's 5 games there where we can kind of go, okay. But if they're beating all the, let's be honest, the teams that are not in that 5, they're going to get top 4 because at the end of the day, we're not beating Southampton, we're not beating Burnley, we're not beating Wolves.
Yeah, but I think, do you know what? I actually think I think Southampton have hit form a bit too late in the season because if they play like they have been at the minute, they'll be in the running for the top 6 most definitely. They'll be like a West Ham, Leicester last season. They're actually a really, really good team, Southampton. So look, Wolves are one of them teams where they can lose to Brentford, beat Spurs. It's they're in and around it. They've got West Ham tomorrow, which is a good result, good fixture for us, because they'll be taking points with each other. But listen, I think we've got Everton, then Man United, or Brighton. No, Everton, Brighton, Man United.
I think
So,
we've got. I think Brighton's the game after. I
oh,
think it
is it?
works out. Yeah, I think the Brighton's the game. I was looking at the fixtures earlier, and I think
But look,
Brighton's the game up in
Brighton lost
between.
again to Villa today.
That's a
So
typical
they've hit a bit
Brighton.
of bad form. But the thing is,
Yeah,
it's kind of like one of them ones, isn't it? It's like when you play against a team with who need to win, it's harder. I
yeah,
mean, Leeds obviously needed to win today, but Leeds they could get relegated. They are very
yeah.
very bad.
It's weird because I look at that and go, if we had played Burnley when it snowed, we would have probably beat them that day because they
Yeah,
hadn't
probably.
checked. They were off form. They couldn't win a game, and the
They had
relegation
all
battle
these
hadn't hit
injuries and
them.
suspensions
Yeah,
as well.
and then obviously on Wednesday, where I think the problem was with Wednesday, and I think Antonio Conte felt it too. We didn't lose because of mistakes. We
No.
lost because at the end of the day, it was a decent free kick. Yeah, Romero could have done better for it, but
Mm-hmm.
you can see them goals week in, week out in the
Kane
Premier
hit the
League.
bar. I mean,
Yeah. It was just unlucky. It was one of them. It wasn't a terrible performance, and we still
no.
lost. And
Yeah.
that's where, with the other games, when you look at Southampton, you look at Wolves, we were terrible. So we
Yeah.
deserved
And
to
to be
lose.
fair, like you've got to look at it as we had these games in hand. We haven't been able to capitalise, but I still think it's all in our hands. We've still got Arsenal. We've still got Man
Yeah.
United. We don't have.
Yep.
Well, I think our hardest game of the season is away at Liverpool.
Yep.
From now in.
Well, I still think the hardest away game is going to be Man United. I think depending on the pressure, I think the pressure that's going to be on us that day. So it's going to be a lot like how it was if we won our games in hand against Southampton and Wolves. And I think Spurs will not turn up for that game. And I hope to be wrong. It's just whenever we need results at Old Trafford, we never get them.
No,
And that's
maybe
the only
not.
thing.
But coming off, look, Man United are poor. They're very poor. I know they've
but they're not. But they're not
accumulated
losing
the same amount of points as Liverpool under their new manager, but they're winning games 1-0 at home. Do you know what I mean? Wolves went up there, got a result. Watford went up there, got a result. I mean, they drew away.
The thing is with Man United is they're not losing games. The games that we're losing, Man United are drawing them.
Yeah,
whereas
points.
And then they are picking up 3 points here and there. And I think that's where Spurs and Arsenal might fall down because when Arsenal come up in that tough run in a couple of weeks, and Arsenal will do it, they'll let their fans down. Right, they've done. They do. This is like typical Arsenal.
I think Arsenal have got a really, really good starting 11, but I think they've got a poor bench.
Yeah, a bit like us today. If you look at it,
our bench today, I'm very worried about that. I'm very worried about that. Like,
let me just ask you this question because this is probably one of the big. So Winks didn't come in today, but Winks came in today. Ryan Sessegnon came in today, and Doherty came in today, and they were very influential in that first goal.
Yeah.
How did you rate all three's performances today?
Do you know what? Doherty's been unlucky not to play because he come off the back of that Leicester win and he come on and he changed the game. Like the ball bounced off his chest, Bergwijn scored, and then obviously he got down the right and he looked a problem. But the problem is with Doherty, he has one good game, 4 bad. And it's hard to get in at them positions because I mean, Emerson Royale, I've seen him play okay. I've seen him play really bad. I've not seen him play that well. And I mean, like everyone's up, but he scored against Brighton.
I know what you mean. Do you know what? It's a bit like it's a bit like how I see Ben Davis. With Royale, you get 6s and 7s. Apart from that Southampton game where we all went, "Oh my god, he had a terrible game." But I look at Ben Davis and go, since Conte's come in, he hasn't had a performance where he's been 8 out of 10, but he hasn't really had a performance where he's been 5 out of 10.
I thought he was 8 out of 10 today. Ben Davis. I thought he was solid. I thought it's kind of hard because 8 out of 10s mean like you have an effect on the game.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kept a clean sheet and he done that thing in the second half. And look, when he's in a back three, I'm like, okay, all right, he's good enough. Is he great? Not really. If he's playing with Dyer and he's playing with Romero, do I trust him? Yes. If he's playing with Sanchez, do I trust him? No. So it's like one of them ones. It's I thought Sessegnon was brilliant today. Absolutely brilliant. I thought
that was going to be my next question, and I want you to go into more detail. Sessegnon's now played the last 3 games, and a lot of people said he looked a bit lost against Man City, and I didn't think he looked lost. I felt like it was a person that hadn't played many games, but he's now played the last 3 games for us. How are you? This is the first time he's probably played 3 games in a row for Spurs in his whole career.
Yeah.
How are you seeing his progression? Are you now seeing him actually? He might be
you can only judge a player you judge a player based on form, yeah, and you can't judge a player based on one game, and that's all he was kind of getting, wasn't he? He was getting a game
like
here and
Kulu.
there, and it was like, well, it's kind of hard to play in a team when they're in a bad moment, okay?
Yes.
And he like against Man City, it was more tactical. We kind of like drew their midfield out to play the ball into Son and let Son play Walker. So Sessegnon was kind of there as a fullback. He wasn't like getting bursting up the pitch. He was like being tactically. He was like being compact when City come at us because City had all the ball. So Sessegnon was kind of a good player to kind of get up the pitch, but we relied on Son heavily that game to make the runs like in front of him because obviously Son played on the left, and obviously you saw with Kulu's first goal, with obviously Son getting in off Walker. But I thought today he was brilliant. Do you know what I liked about Sessegnon today? Is I thought that he kind of played games being scared of the ball. I thought kind of like he kept out the way because he wasn't really interested. Today he wanted it all the time. Like little runs off the free kicks, the quick free kicks in behind. He was like making them runs, and like a couple of times in the first half, the ball got played over the top, and his touch was superb. But the run he made, if you actually watch the breakdown of the first goal we had, when obviously the ball got played out to a Winks, and he just put the burners on. Like it was, he covered so much ground so quick, and obviously the ball in start was spot on. He done it in the first start. He done it again. Yeah. The ball got played to Kulu, and it was just slightly behind him.
Agreed.
But brilliant from Sessegnon. He picked up a booking, fair play, but you're going to get bookings at Leeds. You're going to get stuck in. I mean, it's a hostile stadium, isn't it? Everyone no one likes playing at Leeds. You saw it last week, Man United.
I don't think Leeds like playing at Leeds at the moment.
No, not at the minute. But listen,
no, since their fans are coming back,
you can't take away that Leeds haven't got injuries. They've got so many injuries. They've got missing Phillips, and you've got their captain Ian Cooper. But listen. I'm going to judge us based on what I saw today, and what I saw today was a good reaction from Wednesday night. And listen, we got a big FA Cup game on Wednesday because I know Middlesbrough lost to Barnsley today, but Middlesbrough just knocked out Man United at Old Trafford. And look, it's just one of them games where I remember we went up there a couple of years ago and drew 1-1. We was 1-0 down, and Lucas Moura scored a header, I think, or Foyth or someone, maybe Lucas Moura.
I think it was Moura. I can't remember, but right. Yeah.
But Conte needs to install it into these into the players that listen. Every game's got to be a game where we look to win. Obviously, Conte will probably take a draw at Old Trafford and at Anfield, but we've got Newcastle at home, Everton at home, Brighton. We've got Brentford. We've got Norwich on the last game of the season. We've got Leicester at home. We've got teams that we should beat. West Ham at home. Listen, Burnley it wouldn't surprise me if we're knocking it and we just come just short. But we have to literally go for it now. And I mean, look at Kane at the minute, man. I'm just watching him.
So that's before you go into Kane.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Kulu. And the reason why I want to talk about Kulu is, do you think Kane's form in the last couple of weeks and now Son's form is down to the fact
that Moura isn't playing?
That Moura's not playing, or more the sense of they finally found someone on the right-hand side that will complement the both of them together.
Yeah.
And why I say that is because when Bell was there last season, I felt Son went missing. He kind of went, oh crap, these two are the two good players. I will just kind of stay back. But where they finally found someone that actually complements the both of them, which means Kane and Son get to do their thing.
The thing is, with Kulu, we've got a player that's got great pedigree. He's been at Juventus. He plays full international for Sweden. He's a great player. He come third in the Golden Boy last year. Listen, he's a very, very, very good player. Yeah, against the two, it's hard to come off the bench and make an impact when you're a substitute. So we can't judge him off the two substitute performances.
As most football Spurs Twitter does.
I know. And against Man City, he come on, he scored, but he was brilliant. He got the assist for Kane's goal. But did you know he made the most sprints out of everyone on that pitch that game?
Yes, I was aware of that. Yes, I was aware of that. Yeah.
Against Burnley, he had that shot that zipped past the post.
Probably should have scored that one.
It was a horrible game. No one really got involved. It was just like the wind was howling, the ball was getting kicked off.
If it ended 0-0 against Burnley, I think both sides would have gone, you know what, probably deserved to be
take that.
Yeah, both of them, because we were probably the better side in the second half.
He was brilliant. He was buying fouls when we needed to buy fouls. He's a clever player, and I think Kane likes playing with him because you see kind of Kane drift towards him. Where when Lucas Moura's playing, Kane doesn't go on the right. Kane always goes with Son on the left, and he drops deep. And Kane is effective. But I mean, with Kulu, I think they've got a player where they know he's kind of like he can be on the same level as Son, not like the same absolute level where he'll burst. But I mean, look at the goal he scored today. Brilliant goal. And look at I think obviously they played Junior Firpo left back, and he was awful. But you got to judge him on what he's done, and he's played 3 games, started 3 games, got 2 goals, got 2 assists. Like you can't take that kind of away from someone who's just come to a new football club. The expectation of our football club is high, obviously with Conte and with like how the media watch us and how it is at the minute. But listen, Kulu's been brilliant. Son's kind of getting to where he should be because he has gone missing a little bit recently. I know he scored goals and stuff, but his performances ain't been there. I'm glad he broke the record today because they deserve it.
I think the last 2 games, even against Burnley, I felt Son kind of was coming back to the Son we know.
Yeah, like did you see today in the first half where he got the ball and he just ran and he was so fast? You don't see that.
No,
you don't see that anymore.
He was so fast that he ended up with him and 4 Leeds players, and Kulu went, I'm not really sure what to do here. Where do you want me to go? So, but yeah, I know what you mean.
We need that from Son, and to be fair, like with Son, he'll give a 3 out of 10 but score. So against
which is why we play him. Yeah.
Against Southampton, he was like poor, but he scored. And Lucas Moura was poor, but he got the assist for Son's goal when we went 2-1 up. So look, I'm not digging Son out, but Son can give another gear. Kane, world of his own, league of his own at the minute. There's no one in the Premier League that is on his level at the minute. No chance, not a chance in the world. Like,
so is it a case of we'll get another season out of Kane if Conte is our manager next season?
Yep, 100%. Kane stays. Kane. I know, obviously, it's going to be hard because there's going to be people knocking on the door, but I don't think City will be now because they've got this new striker. We're never going to sell to Chelsea, and hopefully they go bankrupt because obviously the Russia war at the minute, because obviously Abramovich is getting into a bit of trouble. Look, if we come 5th, maybe 6th, because that's still Europa League, and we do well in the FA Cup, Kane will probably think, look, Conte's coming and got us that. So if Levy backs Conte and Kane actually sees our squad getting backed, I can see it happening. Yeah, I can see it happening next season. However, people who play with Kane in our team need to realise that they're kind of a part of this situation. They can give it in the media like, oh, I love working with Kane, he's such a humble guy and that. Well, show him that. Show him that by turning up against these teams like Burnley, like Southampton. Show him that. Because at the end of the day, you'll never see a number 9 more rounded than Kane. Like, he won the most defensive headers, like, I think a couple of weeks ago out the whole league. And that was a game, I think it might have been, I can't remember what game it was, but the ball getting pumped into the box and he was just heading out at the time. He's so good in the air. He drops deep. Look at the ball to Son earlier. Phenomenal. Like, his range of passing is a joke. I have not seen a centre forward that can do that. Honestly, I haven't. He passes like Hodder when he finishes like Greaves.
Yeah.
So we're lucky to have him. Hopefully we can go up to Middlesbrough, nick a win. Even if it's a shitty 2-0 win, I'm taking it. Have a little rest. Monday night, on the box. Spurs versus Everton at home. We should be flapping them. Are they beating Man City at the minute? I don't know what the score is.
It was 0-0 when we came up, so
yeah. Well,
so
we'll
hopefully,
see.
Yeah.
But if you want a man of the match for today,
yeah, that was my next question. You know me, you've been doing this way too long.
I love it. If I'm giving a man of the match, honestly,
yeah,
I'm giving it to. Look, Kane got a goal and assist, and he was amazing. Like, you can't, and his finish was insane. But I'm going to give Kane man of the match practically every game he plays in because he's at that level. But today, I'm going to go with either Højbjerg or Sessegnon. I thought they were both very, very good.
Apart from Sessegnon's you're the second person to say that who I've interviewed today. So actually, Sessegnon probably, especially after coming off early, being the first substitution, after last week's performance against Man City, which I felt like a lot of Spurs fans gave him unfair treatment for the way he
Yeah.
played and expected a lot better of him. Boy, I thought actually he did play really well. And obviously Wednesday night with the foul, which kind of he should never have been left in that position to be fouling
Yeah,
him
yeah.
anyway. So actually, I will give you that. And I'm pretty surprised. If the game was only 15 minutes today, I think Kulu would have won it hands down because he was probably the best player on the pitch for the first 20 minutes. But then Kane obviously came into his own, and that finish was absolutely superb. So yeah, Ryan Sessegnon, great shout. And as always, thank you for your time today.
No problem.
Please like and subscribe. And as we always finish on, come on, you Spurs.
Up the Spurs. See you later.